Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the latest Security Risk Management webinar, Next Generation Stream, Revolutionizing Risk Management in 2025. We're delighted to have you all with us today. My name is Linda Chamberlain, and I'm the Head of Marketing here at Acuity. I'm here with VP of Service Delivery, Tunde Awanuga. For today's agenda, Tunde will give you a brief introduction to Acuity, and he would then give you a high-level tour of our exciting Next Generation Stream platform. So just a few housekeeping asks, please. If you have a technical issue, please let us know using the chat function. If you have any questions, please pop them in the chat and we'll have a Q&A at the end of the webinar. Thank you, and over to you, Tunde.
Thanks, Linda. Welcome everyone to today's webinar, Next Generation Stream, Revolutionizing Risk Management. I'm Tunde Awanuga, the VP of Service Delivery at Acuity Risk Management, and would like to thank you for taking the time to join us. Today is all about giving you an exclusive look at the updated interface of Stream. The core functionality remains the same, but the way you experience it is now cleaner, faster, and more intuitive. But before we jump into the product, let me take a moment to introduce you to Acuity Risk Management for those of you maybe new to us. Acuity was founded in 2005 and last year became Acuity RM Group PLC. We're headquartered in London and work with over 100 customers across 28 countries. Our network of reseller and consultant partners helps extend our reach even further. What sets us apart is that our founders each have over 40 years experience in enterprise, cyber, and information security risk management. That expertise is embedded directly into Stream, our core intellectual property, developed and refined over 2 decades with continuous feedback from real-world customers such as yourselves. Stream is available both on-premise and SaaS, and we support deployments with expert services and offer a flexible delivery model, whether direct or through our partners. Ultimately, our strategic risk-enabled assurance management, Stream for short, approach lets us customize Stream to meet your unique risk landscape. The same spirit of flexibility and evolution is what's driving the next generation interface we're here to explore today. Now let's move on to the agenda. Here's our agenda. I'll spend the next couple minutes walking you through the vision behind the redesign. Then we'll jump into a live demo to showcase the new layout, dashboards, and experience in action. We'll then wrap up with a few minutes for questions and next steps. So whether you're a long-term user or someone just evaluating Stream, the goal of today's session is simple. Show you how the updated interface enhances usability without changing what you know and love about the platform. But firstly, why the change? So why redesign something that works? Over the past years, we've had feedback from users saying, I know what to do, but I want to get there faster. Others have asked for clean layout, better user space, and a simpler first-time user experience, particularly on user onboarding. We've listened. This interface is all about user empowerment. It's still Stream, it just flows better. And what are the benefits? We have smarter navigation. Navigation is more intuitive, especially for new users. Consistent filters and saved views. Filtering and saved views are more consistent across modules. Faster performance, pages load faster, and key data is visually prioritized. And finally, modern display ready. Everything is optimized for modern displays and accessibility. Now let's explore what this actually looks like. Here we have a demo environment, and I'll walk you through the new UI using this demo environment so you can see exactly what your teams will experience. And as we go, I'll highlight how this update supports our broader goal, revolutionizing risk management, not just through brand new features, but through dramatically improved usability and efficiency across the board. Starting from the home dashboard, here we have an example of the ISO 27001 overview dashboard. And what you're looking at isn't just a visual refresh. This is about transforming how users such as risk managers, specialists, and other stakeholders engage with their data. You can notice the modern styling, the user space, how clean the charts are, and each widget now has more breathing room, making it easier to pick up key information at a glance. Widgets such as the risk status summary, the control assessment summary, in this case ISO 27001, internal audits, audit non-conformities are clearly spaced, color-coded, and easier on the eyes. Most importantly, these charts are drillable, meaning that users can click onto a bar or a segment and jump directly into the underlying records. This makes the dashboard not just a passive overview, but an interactive launchpad for deeper investigation. Additionally, the entire dashboard can be filtered based upon the enterprise tree structure, and you can switch between different dashboards depending on use cases, such as ISO 27001, NIST CSF, or PCI, for example. And this dashboard can be exported, making it quick and easy to share visual updates with management, audit teams, or board level stakeholders. And on the left-hand side, we have the side navigation. This is collapsible, as you can see, to give you maximum screen space and more real estate. This is particularly helpful for those dashboard-heavy users or those working on smaller screens. And in addition to be able to collapse this side navigation, you have the ability to pin frequently used menu items, ensuring quick access to the modules you rely on the most without needing to scroll or navigate repeatedly, as I have done here for assets, risk controls, and actions. Similarly, I can do this for other records or reports. Next, let's jump into the asset module. This is one of those revolutions in risk management. Instead of a one-size-fits-all, users can now tailor views to how they work on a day-to-day. What I'd like to highlight here is how the filters, the columns, and the save views work together. You can now toggle the show columns button to show or hide information most relevant to you. In this case, such as I can hide the description. And once you've configured your layout and your filters, you can save that view over here and return to it at any time, making repeat analysis and task execution much faster and consistent. Each column in this view is also searchable and filterable, so we can do column searches where we can define the self-filter criteria, conditions. For example, if I'm looking for an asset with the ABC that contains ABC, I go ahead and filter my records to only show me information with that text. So if you're looking for other, for example, assets owned by a person or with a particular name, you can apply that filter instantly, making the process of locating and validating asset data much more precise and user-friendly. You can even adjust over here the number of items that are displayed per page on the drop-down, as you can see. So we can pick either 5 items, 10 items, 20, 25, 250. Now let's move on to risks. The risk list screen looks much more intuitive with improved contrast and color indicators for risk scores, assessments, acceptances, the linked assets, the references, the last update. You can identify quickly which risks are open, which risks are overdue for assessment, which risks are not accepted, and what the overall risk status for your individual risks are. Let's drill into a risk that I logged earlier. So go into, we have fire. Here's one for fire at the HQ building. The layout of the detail page now has sections for the metadata, which are all configurable, giving you the flexibility to add as many fields as you want, and it's all displayed in a simple, clean, user-friendly interface. Additionally, you can see your risk assessments for both your initial risk and your residual risk, and you can see this in either your risk matrix or your history graph, and this can be filtered based upon a certain time period. You can also notice, the relationships to other objects such as actions, assets, controls, etc., incidents, evidence requests. And it just feels natural to move from one related item to another just by simply scrolling, as I've done. Each of these widgets, where there's associated controls, actions, or assets, can also be collapsed or expanded individually. You can see we have 4 controls within our controls widget. And this just gives the users the flexibility to focus on the sections relevant to them during review or remediation. It also reduces screen clutter for complex risk records, helping streamline navigation. This expand and collapse feature is consistent across all record screens throughout the platform, including risks, controls, assets, actions, and other record types, such as your incident modules, your policy management module, your audits, your vulnerabilities, etc., just providing a uniform experience that streamlines navigation and enhances focus regardless of where you are in the system. And you can also toggle between the data view and the graph view. Everything within this page is easier to interpret, even for new users. Now let's move on to controls. Jumping over to controls, what you notice is that each entry clearly shows the asset it relates to, the reference of the control, the next assessment date, and once again, you can show and hide your columns. You can decide to show the priority for each control, the cost of each control, what type of control it is, and save that current view for later usage. At the top of the screen, you can also see the framework selector, where I can filter down this list to toggle between either ISO 27001, NIST CSF, DORA, or any other control standard that has been configured in your environment. This makes it easy to isolate and assess your compliance obligations across different frameworks. What you notice, once again, is how easy it is to focus on what's next in terms of the deployment percentage and also assessment and approvals. This helps control assessors or owners plan ahead and stay proactive. Additionally, you can import your control assessments in bulk using the import and export feature. So rather than you having to go into each control, assess each control individually, you can get your list of control assessment records in an Excel spreadsheet, CSV file, and import that in bulk, allowing you to see your status of compliance just by a simple click of a button. Next, we'll then move on to the other records. The other records menu is now a tiered menu structure that groups record types and modules in an expandable hierarchy. This allows users to navigate between functional areas such as incident management, policy governance, vulnerability management, data privacy, secure by design, risk or issues management, without being overwhelmed by a long flat list. And each main category can be expanded to show sub-related items or collapsed to reduce visual clutter, giving teams both the simplicity and control as they navigate the platform. Before we move on to reports, let's take a moment to review actions. The actions module benefits heavily from the new layout and design improvement. Each action record is now easier to scan, update, and track. Users can filter actions by the due date, by priority, status, owner, cost, and any other data fields. You can also import and export the data via the import export function, allowing you to load all your actions, which is a big step forward for operational efficiency. So this streamlined experience for action tracking is a key part of our evolution towards smarter, faster risk management workflows. And not to forget, you can also save your views as you go, as you move further. Now let's take a look at reports. This is where the shift to 2025 style risk management is clearest. Reporting is flexible, interactive, and exportable. You no longer need to rebuild visuals in PowerPoint or Excel. Stream empowers you to generate clear, stakeholder-ready charts in an instant. These charts are fully interactive. You can hover over for detailed tooltips and even drill down into specific segments to view the contributing data records. Let's pick top 10 risks, for example. We can filter our top 10 risks by the register. So in this case, I can add a filter by the escalated risks, by the vendor supplier management risks, enterprise risk, or I can see what my top 10 risks across the entire corporation is. They show a report, and once again, we can drill into the underlying data. This is also exportable into a PNG format, and additionally, I can filter based upon the risk category. So if I only wanted to focus on risk to loss of essential services, I can click on that risk category and that will filter down my view. I can also switch between a qualitative view and a quantitative view. And once again, this would demonstrate and present to me the exact data from two different risk methodologies. Let's go back to our reports. We also have other examples such as the residual risk summary, the risk history, the entity history, our risk heat map, where once again, we can filter our risk heat map to show a distribution of risk across all registers, or for a particular register, update the filters to show risk categories and risk types. And we can switch between a chart view or heat map view. And also, you have the ability to show either from an initial risk point of view or from a residual risk standpoint. And once again, we can show that report, and you can also drill into the underlying data. Stream empowers you to generate this clear stakeholder-ready charts instantly. The layer has been optimized to support the side-by-side comparison, as I said, with export capabilities. So whether you're presenting to an audit committee or preparing an internal update, these visuals are clean, high resolution, and exportable in various formats. This means teams can use the dashboards and reports, not just for live analysis, but also for consistent reporting. Each chart, as you would notice, is presentation friendly. There's less clutter, more white space, and cleaner axis labels. To recap, switch back to the presentation. Next-gen Stream is the same powerful engine, now in a faster, cleaner frame. So when we say we're revolutionizing risk management, this is what we mean. Stream remains as powerful as ever, but it is now faster to learn, faster to navigate, and easier to trust with your most critical decisions. Whether it's dashboards, registers, or detailed records, the interface helps your team make decisions faster and work more efficiently. That brings us to the end of the demonstration. I hope this walkthrough helps you. Our Stream's new interface is designed to revolutionize your risk management experience using faster insights, smarter workflows, and clearer data all in one place. If you have any questions, now's a great time to drop them in the chat. Would love to hear your thoughts or clarify anything you've seen today.
Thank you, Tunde. It's all very exciting. We do have a few questions that have come in, so if I may, I'll continue with them. First question that's come in is, when is this due for general release?
Good question. The next generation interface or next gen stream is currently available in preview for customers for demonstration. So if you want a deep dive demo into what you've seen today, please, you can contact your customer success team and we can schedule that in. We expect the general release to begin in Q4 2025 with full rollout, once again, supported through your customer success team. If you like early access or help preparing for migration, we'll be more than happy to assist.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. We have another question. Can this be deployed on-prem?
Yes, absolutely. Stream supports both on-premise and SaaS deployments. Our on-prem customers will be able to upgrade to the next-gen UI as part of their standard update path. And we'll ensure the same level of support and documentation is provided for both versions of the Stream.
Excellent. Thank you very much. We've got another question here. What control standards does it allow, apart from the general ISO standards?
Stream allows for any standards across a variety of different domains, different sectors. So, for example, NIST 853, ISO 22301, ISO 41000, which I believe is regarding AI. Even DORA, we can have the DORA articles, we can have NIST 2, we support NIST CSF, we support any standard that you can really think of, as long we can either provide the content for you in your environment, or alternatively, if you have that content, we can easily load that in to Stream, ready for your use.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. I think we've got time for, we've got one more question that's just come in. What third-party applications can you integrate with?
Okay. Stream supports a wide range of integrations through both native connectors and our REST API. Common use cases include service linking with ServiceNow, Azure or Entra ID, Active Directories, Microsoft 365, and vulnerability scanning tools such as Qualys, Nessus, or Tenable. We also support custom integrations based upon your architecture. Our team can help configure these during implementation or onboarding.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much for answering those, Tunde. And thank you very much for your attending the webinar today. I think we're going to wrap it up unless there's any more going to pop in. I think we'll wrap up there. So thank you very much for attending today, and you'll all receive a link to the recording for this webinar. We hope you've enjoyed it, and please get in touch with us if you'd like any more information about Acuity Risk Management or our Cyber GRC platform Stream and Next Gen. Thank you very much, Tunde. Very, very exciting, and yeah, really interesting to see the demo, and yeah, look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Take care, and we look forward to hearing your feedback. Thank you.
Thank you.